lovely people, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope everyone is doing great. As you can see today, I have my beautiful guest here with me. I did a previous video with her, so you've probably seen her on this channel. We recorded some interesting topic, a very deep topic, so I would literally encourage you guys to go and have a look and let us know what you think. But today I'm going to be speaking to her about a very sensitive topic to do with her upbringing, her parents and all that. But so I'm gonna go straight into it. So Shanique, thank you so much for agreeing to do this topic with me, because I know it's quite sensitive. So we're gonna take our time, no pressure. So we'll go into it. How was it like for you as a child not having both parents raise you?
I think when you're young, there's a lot of innocence that you have. And I think that I was very sheltered. I was always told that my mum was missing. I was never really told, anything more than that. It was just she was missing. And that's all it really was. And it was like, oh, okay, my mum's missing. But then as you get older, you've got questions and, there's voids. Do you get me? You grow up in teenage years. It's like you have this sense of there's something and you can't explain what it is, but there's something, and it's like you're trying to find that missing piece. Do you get what I'm saying? So for a long time it was me trying to find myself, trying to fill those voids, in all honesty. And I think I was very resentful. Growing up, I was very resentful, and I think because there was no real closure, it was just I was told she's missing. It's just like, oh, okay, that's all I was given, and for me that wasn't fair. That wasn't okay. Why is she missing? Where would she go? Where has she been? Like, there's so many questions that I've had. Do you know what I mean? And because there was no closure, it was very hard.
So, were there a point where you would always wish that, you would always wait, because you said growing up, you were told that your mom was missing for 18 years. So was there a point in your life growing up that you felt that, that you were waiting for her to come back?
I think, to be honest, for a long time I told myself that she had died. I think just to make it easier, for example. So I think, that was the only, maybe a coping mechanism, just something to ease the pain, maybe. For a long time I convinced myself that maybe that's just it. So it doesn't hurt as much.
But it hurt though.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
When you were like covering it, or when it was like a coping mechanism for you, what was it like?
I think you kind of disconnect yourself from certain things, do you know what I mean? But I think in that process of not dealing with your stuff, you get into all kind of foolishness. You get into, the wrong paths, the wrong crowds, all because you want to deal with your stuff, but you don't know how to. So you occupy yourself with other things.
So let's say obviously you're probably you're in your teenagers now. You've come out of your childhood years. You're in your teenagers, going into your late teens. How did that absence that you had from your parents, how did that affect you? Like what sort of area?
I think I seek love and validation in all the wrong places. I was constantly looking for that sense of belonging and that kind of, to be a part of a family, or to just to feel a part of something. And I look for that in things and people, careers and stuff like that. I was constantly looking for something. And it's to fill that void. You have that void, you're empty. You have the mum void, you have the dad void, you have the issues at home voids, and I constantly was trying to fill that with things that couldn't fit in.
So in regards to you being resentful towards them, did you carry it into your relationships?
I was very angry. I was very angry. But I think now I can say, if anything, I was grieving. Do you get me? So what I thought was anger was probably loss and grief. And I was probably mourning the idea of something that, you know, I felt that I've been cheated and I felt that I've been robbed. I've just been born into this life, and these are the cards that I've been given. And I was angry. I was angry at the world. I was angry at myself. I was angry at my family. I was angry at God. I was just angry. I was really angry. Yeah.
And the thing is, the more you probably became angry, the more you became lost in yourself.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. Because with that anger, you justify, and you know, once you're angry, it's like it's a cloud. You can't see anything after that. Do you get me? It's just your anger, and you're stuck with your anger, and you're sitting with your anger, and that's all it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you know, there are some people that you know, a lot of people go through issues and. And they justify, especially when it comes to forgiveness. And people, they would say, okay, why would I forgive this person? This is so painful. This was hard. This was difficult.
Yeah.
Why should I not be resentful towards this person? Why should I not be resentful towards my parents? Why should I forgive them? So they create a lot of excuses around that.
Yeah.
So in that case, would you say, did that help you, like you blocking off your emotions,
to
justify your actions, your resentment? How did that?
I think only for a time, because I think you can only lie to yourself for so long. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, as a child, I felt that my parents had a responsibility, and they didn't live up to that responsibility. And again, it's the expectations that we have of our parents. That's the thing that gets us into trouble. We have this expectation of these human beings, and they let us down. And well, that's my mum, and that's my dad, and as a mother and as a father, you should be like this, and you should be like that. Forgetting they're only human. Do you get me? And we're not justifying certain things because yes, as a mother and a father, they should be a certain way, but sometimes that's not the case. And we have to be okay with that. And we have to be able to move on from that. Without hurting other people or even hurting yourself.
I think that's the only way that you would have love towards, your parents or any other person in general. Because when it becomes a situation where you're always blaming,
it's
people, it's easy to blame because you're like, why me,
and
all that. Exactly, it's easy. But then again, like you said, we place a lot of expectations on them, forgetting that they are also human beings. They go through their stuff, and when we begin to realize that they are also human beings, and we begin to understand that will also help us to to love them. It will help us to understand them. Exactly. So I just, because resentment is quite a deep thing, and I know that it's not just a situation where you're having resentment towards somebody. It's something that when you have resentment or unforgiveness in your heart towards people or your parents or whatever, it takes a toll on you. It has an effect on you to the core. So how did you manage to sit down and deal with that resentment? How are you able to just to sit down and reflect that, okay, I have an issue of resentment towards my parent. So what am I going to do? At what point did you decide to take responsibility of that?
I think I wanted to be at peace. I wanted to be whole. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to just, I think, you see, when you carry something for so long and it's heavy and it wears you down, like it got tiring, carrying all that anger, all that resentment, all that hurt, all those feelings that came from that, it was wearing me down after a while. And I was tired, and I literally just wanted to be emotional. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be at peace. Do you know what I mean? And it's about surrendering, in all honesty.
And there are some people that are waiting for their parents or for the people that hurt them to come to them to apologize to them before they're able to let go of the anger or the resentment. For you, was that the case for you?
I don't know if I was waiting for an apology. I think if anything, I was just waiting for closure. For me, it was the closure, just to know why or where, or just all these questions that I have that are unanswered. For me, where are you? Like, I just simply wanted to know why you had gone, or like, do you know what I mean? But I suppose, I think, deep down you probably do want an apology, but sometimes you have to be okay with the apology that we're never going to get. Do you get what I'm saying?
So
and it's for ourselves more than anything, not for anyone else, but for ourselves, for peace of mind. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's so true. So what would you say in terms of the journey so far of working towards that resentment and at the moment?
You take it day by day, you take it one step at a time, and I think for me it's accepting the whole story. Does that make sense? So for a long time I didn't want to accept that this was my story. These were the cards that I've been dealt. I didn't want to accept that. Do you get me? But I think in doing that you accept yourself. Do you get me? You're enough, and once you can accept yourself, you can accept everything else that comes with that. And there's a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment and a lot of things that are feelings that were attached to that. And for me it was like, I'm letting it all go, do you get me? And I'm choosing to be free. Do you get what I'm saying?
What was the process like? It was difficult, right?
Yeah, it's very difficult because it's identifying that there's an issue. Do you get me?
And that's the thing, no, people identifying an issue is a big issue in itself for a lot of people.
That wasn't mine. Yeah. So, because of, maybe my parents had issues and now I've got issues, and again, they project a lot onto us. Do you get me? Sometimes our parents leave us with a lot of stuff to handle and it's not fair. But we have to move past that.
Right.
And we have to want it for us. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like the fact that you were not in denial about the things, the issues and the resentment and all that, because I feel like the big thing is, like you said, accepting the issue and not being in denial about it. But yeah, it's quite a very deep topic, and obviously looking back at where you were and now, can you see a big difference?
Yeah. I think it's always going
in regards to resentment and all that.
Yeah, I'm not as resentful anymore. I think it's a process.
Okay.
And you have to forgive for yourself. I think, when it comes to forgiving another person, it's not about them, it's about you. Do you get me? And I think sometimes it's very easy to say forgive you, but then, you remember all the horrible stuff, or you remember what was said and what was done, and you get angry again all over again, and it's like, no, if you forgive, you let go and you move on. Do you get me? And I think we have to learn to really forgive and mean it. Do you get me? Not just say it because it sounds pretty and it sounds good in theory, but we really have to forgive and mean it. Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, okay, wow, it's quite deep, but we're gonna end the video. I just want to say thank you, Shanique, for speaking on this deep topic. One thing I would definitely say is that letting go of resentment and forgiving, like you said, it's not just for the people, it's not for people, it's for yourself. It's about your future, it's about your generation and stuff. So I hope everyone was inspired by you're such a strong girl, because I know it's not easy. It's really not, but you're really a strong girl, and I know that God's grace will continue to keep you. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video now. Thank you again for watching, guys. Bye. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Please join the family. Join us, and please, and also follow us on our social media pages at Peas in Convo. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.